Dar es Salaam port proves crucial for East African community economies.
We have committed as Tanzania to continue to make it easier for Rwanda to use the port of Dar es Salaam for its international trade.
SADC calls for joint efforts to boost food security. Good evening. I am Kanki Mwaigomole. You can also follow us live via our YouTube channel, TBC Online, and also get all the latest news through our Instagram, Facebook, and X pages at TBC Online. The Southern African Development Community, SADC Council of Ministers, has called for collaborated efforts in ensuring food security in the region amid revelations that 43 million people in the southern part of Africa are at risk following expected El Niño-induced drought. Here is a report by Olindoro.
Zimbabwe's delegation and incoming chairperson of the Ministerial Council, Ambassador Frederick Shava, who is also the Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Trade, says the meetings held on Sunday and Monday called for lasting solutions to food insecurity in the region amid revelations that 43 million people in southern Africa are at risk.
The meeting also deliberated on the issue of regional food security and nutrition, where it is estimated that about 43 million people are food insecure in the region. Our region continues to face various nutritional challenges due to poverty, climate change, economic instability, armed conflicts, and epidemics in general.
Outgoing chairperson and Angola's foreign minister, Honorable Tete Antonio, weighed in stressing the need for unity of purpose.
Our meeting today comes to an end, but this is not the end of our tasks, because the various sectors of organization are going to work so as to enrich the wider task of the Council of Ministers.
The two-day meeting also discussed implementation of Council and Summit decisions, as well as progress on the implementation of the theme of the 43rd SADC Summit of Heads of State and Government, along with situations in the DRC and Mozambique.
The Land Transport Regulatory Authority LATRA Regional Officer in charge, Rahim Kondo, says the sixth-term government, which now nearly marks 3 years of President Samia Suluhu Hassan in power, LATRA has made great strides in the improvements of transport services and other services as part of creating a conducive environment for economic activities.
We did a big job to make sure people are traveling within a long distance, but with minimum fare. That we can say one fare, one passenger can travel, for example, from Bagala to Mbezi, instead of using two buses or different means of transport, that he or she can reach to destination using one bus. But also we are initiating or establishing new routes.
Furthermore, Rahim Kondo elaborates long-term plans and strategies in improving transport services in the country.
The LATRA, first to continue to perform our duty by using laws, regulations, and to make sure people are continuing getting service without any obstacles. Those services which are very affordable and available within the reasonable time. Always our effort to make sure transport system and service will be in a good condition and affordable, and the people are enjoying without any problem and causing conflicts.
The agricultural output of small-scale farmers in Madibira Valley and the economy of the Mbarale district has increased following positive results of resilient natural resource management for tourism and growth regrow project. Here's a report by Victoria Patrick, read by Teddy Mparanyanga.
Rice farmers in the Madibira Valley in the Mbeya region say that the ordeal of waiting for water allocation for more than 4 days, deteriorating crops condition, resulting in under-harvesting, has been solved following positive results of resilient natural resource management for tourism and growth regrow project.
Before this canal was constructed, water used to take 5 to 6 days to get to travel to the destination. We are grateful to President Samia Suluhu Hassan for creating an enabling environment for investors to come, such that our farming activities can be more fruitful.
Since last year, the income of these farmers has increased. Water is available all the time, and the canal is well constructed. And generally, the farming activities are connected smoothly. As a result, even the amount of produce has increased. Production has increased from 40 tons to 90 tons. I have seen tremendous progress. This is because as you timely follow the farming process, then there will an increase in income. I have benefited from this project.
Following the current agricultural system, the farmers are calling for more reliable markets, insisting that the move will inspire them to produce more.
I wish for the regrow management to have a discussion with the government so that they can construct the remaining 5 canals. This will bring more impact to farmers. As you have witnessed, the paddy production is doing well. The government should invest more so that we can be more empowered.
The National Irrigation Commission and the Cooperative Association have been an inspiration in the farmers' increased productivity.
This water goes directly to River Ruaha, and then it travels to the Julius Nyerere Hydroelectric Power Project. Therefore, with this improvement, it will have an impact on electricity production at the Nyerere Dam. Before the construction of this project, members used to each contribute some amount of money. It was more than 28 million shillings, which was used to reshape the canal and to cut the grasses around for 2 terms. But due to the construction of this project, the cost has been reduced, and now only 2,100,000 and 25,000 per person.
The Madibira Irrigation Project has spent 8.75 billion shillings to build the irrigation infrastructure and is 94.5% complete and is expected to be completed in June 2024.
The Tanzania Port Authority TPA has started implementing President Samia Suluhu Hassan's directive to ensure major investment is done to improve equipment and operations of the Port of Mtwara to boost work efficiency. Speaking on behalf of the TPA Director General, the Communications and Relations Manager of TPA, Nicodemus Mushi, says that the 2 cargo carrying machines with a capacity to carry 100 tons of cargo have arrived at the port, targeting to increase the port's operational capacity. Here's a report by Martin Nangulumbi, read by Teddy Mparanyanga.
The 6th-phase government continues to improve the infrastructure in this port of Mtwara to increase the quality and efficiency of work in this port. It will be remembered that the government provided more than 157 billion shillings to make major improvements in Mtwara Port.
The president wanted a major investment in equipment in order for work to be done efficiently. It will be remembered that before this investment, the capacity of this port grew to serve about 400,000 ships and cargoes per year. But after investment, the capacity has increased to more than 1 million tons per year. Therefore, we need to invest in equipment so that the work can be done effectively, and we are implementing that. We have transferred equipment for some of our ports, the Port of Tanga and Port of Dar es Salaam. We are bringing them here to give life to this port so that it can work throughout the year more efficiently.
Currently, the port of Mtwara has become more efficient after starting to carry coal, transport cashews and cement, and all this is due to the large investment that has been made by the government in the Mtwara port.
These two large machines are called the mobile harbor cranes, where one has capacity to handle 100 tons, and the mobile harbor crane that has been launched has the capacity to handle 63 tons. These machines have been brought here to Mtwara Port to handle cargo.
On the other hand, the acting manager of the Mtwara Port says that the arrival of these equipment will increase their productivity in this port.
Therefore, the arrival of this equipment we expect will further increase our work performance by reducing the days that ships were stuck in our docks. It can also be more of an incentive for other people or shipping lines to use your port, because it will become stronger because it has many functional equipment to unload cargo in various cargos and containers.
Initially, the port of Mtwara was working during cashew nut season only, but after the government made major improvements and major investments in this port, now the port of Mtwara is working throughout the year.
Tanzania and Rwanda have agreed to create a conducive environment to increase the efficiency of the Dar es Salaam port as a mandatory move to fasten economic growth of the two countries. The move follows what Minister of Foreign Affairs and East Africa Cooperation January Makamba confirms to be the country of Rwanda to have expanded its use of the port for more than 80% of cargo transportation. Here's a report by Grayson Kakuru from Kigali, Rwanda, read by Faivangaga.
The Minister of Foreign Affairs and East African Cooperation, January Makamba, has met and held talks with the Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation of Rwanda in Kigali, where several issues including transport, agriculture and technology were discussed. After the meeting, Minister Makamba elaborates how the government plans to improve the Dar es Salaam port operations to ease port processes, especially for the country of Rwanda.
About 80% of Rwandan cargo passes through the port of Dar es Salaam. We have committed as Tanzania to continue to make it easier for Rwanda to use the port of Dar es Salaam for its international trade. The Tanzanian Port Authority has opened an office here in Kigali for Rwandan businesses and entrepreneurs to engage with the Ports Authority for ease of business with it. And as a country that has a window into the ocean, we feel special responsibility and obligation to Rwanda to make sure that it succeeds in its development ambition using our port.
The Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation of Rwanda, Vicente Biruta, says the move will make Tanzania a crucial partner in supporting Rwanda's economic growth, especially in the transport sector.
We also consider Tanzania as an important trade partner with direct access to the Indian Ocean. The United Republic of Tanzania is a place of transit of many goods in direction and departure from Rwanda. It is our wish to continue maintaining our good labor relations through the promotion of increased trade flows, with the hope to continue reaping the rewards.
Furthermore, Minister Makamba and Biruta have discussed various issues on the Rusuma Falls hydropower project, which targets power trade between the two countries.
This project, not as a standalone power project, but as a future ability to trade electricity between our two countries beyond what is produced in Rusuma. Because the design of the infrastructure is such that more power can be traded. And if Tanzania has extra capacity, they can sell it to Rwanda, or if Rwanda has extra capacity, they can sell it to Tanzania.
The local cooking appliance manufacturers in the country have been urged to align with the manufacturing approved clean cooking energy standards so as to fully attain the 2030 goal to ensure 80% of Tanzanians use clean cooking energy. Speaking during the inspection of two cooking energy efficiency measurement laboratory at the Tanzania Industrial Research and Development Organization, TUDO, and at the Dar es Salaam Institute of Technology, DIT, in Dar es Salaam, the energy experts from the Ministry of Energy and UNDP calls on local manufacturers to ensure their products pass assessment and test set by the laboratories.
Move to 80% of using clean cooking facilities and equipment. We want to help the woman who is suffering from using inefficient fuel. So I would ask those who are making those stoves out there to come to Tildo so that we could help them check the efficiency of their stove, so that we could help this woman or a girl who are suffering from inefficient use of cook stove or electrical appliance.
Tanzania is currently implementing a clean cooking energy campaign in collaboration with the European Union and United Nations Development Programme, as targeting 80% of Tanzania to use clean cooking energy reaching 2030. The campaign includes providing the necessary training, equipment and technology for Tanzania to assess, measure and manage the use of clean energy for citizens, industries and buildings, boosting the economy as well as protect the environment. Muslims around the world are welcoming Ramadan, a month of fasting and prayer that represents the most scared time of the year in the Islamic tradition. Let's get an insight on the history and the essence of Ramadan as narrated by Mariam Mubiru.
Muslims believe that in AD 610, the angel Gabriel appeared to Prophet Muhammad ﷺ and revealed to him the Quran, the Islamic holy book. That revelation, Laylatul Qadr, or the Night of Power, is believed to have occurred during Ramadan. Muslims fast during that month as a way to commemorate the revelation of the Quran. Fasting is an old tradition. Many religions perform fasting in different ways, but the aim is to increase intensity communion with God. It is during this month that Muslims go an extra mile in reading and pondering on the message contained in the Holy Quran, making their actions intentional, selfless, and abstaining from gossiping, lying, and fighting. The month of Ramadan therefore cultivates, encourages, and enhances the culture of reading, which must be carried on after the month of Ramadan. The month of Ramadan provides a deep philosophy of self-control and obedience. In the month of Ramadan, you're forbidden to eat till dawn. This provides an exercise to discipline and obeying. The philosophy of equality is well demonstrated during the month of Ramadan. The rich experience the pangs of hunger and thirst identically with less favored brothers and sisters, so that for the first time hunger and agony seems to be an expression and becomes an experience shared in common. Health-wise, fasting reduces hypertension, increases brain function, improves body composition, reduces cancer risks, stimulates autophagy, lowers inflammation, and regulates sleep patterns. Ramadan Mubarak.
As Tanzania prepares to mark 3 years of President Samia Suluhu Hassan, today we remain in the education sector. And after highlighting the government's reforms on the new curriculum, today we take a look at one of the major education projects implemented by the government of President Samia Suluhu Hassan and other education stakeholders. The project implements construction of 15,000 classrooms through the development campaign for the welfare of the nation and the fight against COVID-19. Here are more details.
It can be remembered in September 2021, within the first year of President Dr. Semester Hassan in power, the International Monetary Fund, IMF, approved an amount of $567 million of loan to support Tanzania to fight the effects of COVID-19. October 10th, 2021, President Semester Hassan, while launching the development campaign for national welfare in the fight against COVID-19, stated that the loan will be used to implement development projects and improve community services such as health, education, water services, and tourism. Following that, the Ministry of State, President's Office, responsible for regional administration and local governments, directed about 240 billion shillings for the construction of 12,000 classrooms. The money was a part of 535.6 billion shillings approved to implement various projects under the plan. The Ministry of State, President's Office, Regional Administration, Local Government quickly implemented the project as instructed by President Semester Hassan, assuring that the classrooms be completed by December 15th, 2021, in order to give way to all students who were selected to join secondary education to start their studies on time. And that's what happened. The hard work was done to ensure that President's vision was translated into action that carries the reality, which at that time, construction of thousands of new classrooms was done. Another thing that is included in the vision is to strengthen sports education, where the government has identified 56 secondary schools in the region that will begin to offer education through sports. In addition, the government has started building sports infrastructure in 6 secondary schools in the central zone at a cost of 2 billion shillings. There's a lot to be said about what is being implemented by the 6th phase government in its 3 years in the education sector, especially primary education. But for today, it is enough to put our final mark here.
Before we wind up our local news for tonight, let's take a look on today's exchange rates according to the Bank of Tanzania. Don't miss TBC News every weekday to know all the latest in exchange rates. Stay tuned for all the latest in the international news. And here's the international news compiled by Ramadhan Impenda and read by Teddy Mparanyanga.
Haiti's Prime Minister Ariel Henry has agreed to resign following weeks of mounting pressure and increasing violence in the impoverished country. The move follows a gathering of Caribbean nations, UN representatives and delegates from countries like France and the United States and Jamaica, aiming to find a solution to Haiti's pressing issues. Mr. Henry is currently stranded in Puerto Rico after being prevented by armed gangs from returning home. In a video address announcing his resignation, Mr. Henry urged Haitians to remain calm. Mr. Henry, who had led the country supposedly on an interim basis since July 2021, following former President Jovenel Moise's assassination, had repeatedly postponed elections saying security must be restored first. President Paul Kagame of Rwanda has agreed to meet with his Democratic Republic of Congo counterpart, Felix Tshisekedi, to discuss the ongoing crisis in Eastern Congo. The agreement followed a meeting on Monday in Angola capital Luanda between Kagame and Angolan President João Lourenço, the African Union's mediator in the DR Congo crisis. Angola's former Prime Minister Tete Antonio told the press after the meeting that it was decided that President Kagame would agree to meet President Tshisekedi on a date to be indicated by the mediator. President Kagame's trip to Angola follows a similar visit by Mr. Tshisekedi to Luanda last month, during which it was announced that the DR Congo leader had agreed to meet with his Rwandan counterpart. But the DR Congo President Felix Tshisekedi demanded the withdrawal of Rwandan troops from the Congolese territory before meeting President Kagame. DR Congo has accused Rwanda of backing M23 rebels, an accusation that Kigali denies. Sudan's government army base has said in a statement on Tuesday that it took control of national radio and television headquarters from the paramilitary Rapid Support Forces, RSF. The headquarters lies in Omdurman, across the Nile from Khartoum and part of Sudan's wider capital. There were no immediate comment from RSF. War between Sudan's army and the RSF erupted in mid-April 2023 amid tensions over a plan for transition to civilian rule. The two factions staged a coup in 2021 that derailed the previous transition following the 2019 overthrow of autocratic former leader Omar al-Bashir. And a ship taking almost 200 foot to Gaza has left a port in Cyprus early on Tuesday in a pilot project to open a new sea route of aid to a population on the brink of famine. The ship, known as the Open Arms, owned by a charity group, has left Larnaca port early on Tuesday, hauling a bag containing about 200 tons of flour, rice, and protein. The voyage is a test of a planned sea corridor to carry aid to a population on the brink of starvation. Mostly funded by the United Arab Emirates, the mission is organized by United States-based charity World Central Kitchen, WCK. The WCK added that their goal is to establish a maritime highway of boats and barges stocked with millions of meals continuously headed towards Gaza. Cypriot officials have said the 210 nautical mile, 390 kilometers voyage across the eastern Mediterranean to Gaza with a heavy tow barge could take up to 2 days.
And that was the international news. Sports news is up next. And in sports, the Tanzania Football Federation, TFF, says it has already sent a letter of appeal to the Confederation of Africa Football, CAF, following the case facing Taifa Stars head coach Ado Amrush. Speaking to TBC News, the Director of Legal, Media and Marketing of TFF, Boniface Wambura, says that the main purpose of the move is to explore better ways to bring him back to his role in the national squad.
TFF make an appeal to the CAF to ensure that Adel Ambroche case will be eased. And we are sure our appeal will be listened, and of course, we need him to be back in our national team to proceed with the coaching. And we know Taifa Stars need him, and the TFF, we also need him to be back in the national team.
Managements of Simba Sports Club and Yanga Football Club teams say this CAF Champions League quarter-final games will not be easy due to the tough opponents drawn against them. Young Africans President Engineer Hersi Said believes Mamelodi Sundowns is one of the best clubs which holds various records compared to Yanga, so they must prepare well if they want to win the game.
Moja katika tough opponents ni Mamelodi Sundowns.
Mamelodi Sundowns is the best team in Africa, and they're going to meet Yanga in quarterfinal. As a leader for Yanga, we are telling our fans so that they will understand that we already make a good preparation, and we will make a good preparation to ensure that young Africans will qualify to the semi-final.
On the other hand, Simba Sports Club spokesperson Ahmed Ali says the club has nothing to fear on the next game against Al Ahly. Simba and Yanga are both scheduled to play their quarter-final first-round matches on the 29th and 30th of March and finalize the second round in early April of this year. And that sports item concludes our news bulletin for tonight. Let's take a look at the weather forecast for the next 24 hours.
My name is Jess Makwata from Tanzania Meteorological Authority, and this is 24 hours weather forecast starting from tonight. Rainfall models are indicating chance of rainfall over the southern part of our country as well as some part of the coastal belt, with the reduction of activities over most part of our country. During the night, we expect Kagera, Geita, Kigoma and Katavi to feature partly cloudy conditions, thunder showers over a few areas. Southwestern Island, southern region, we expect just a thunderstorm over a few areas. In the rest part of the country, we expect partly cloudy conditions during the night. While for tomorrow, we expect Kagera, Geita, Kigoma, Katavi to feature partly cloudy conditions, thunder showers over a few areas in sun period. While over southwestern island, southern region, southern coast, we expected to feature partly cloudy condition, rain showers over a few areas. Tanga, Isles of Unguja and Pemba, together with Dar es Salaam and Pwan region, we expected just light rain showers over a few areas in sun period. And the rest part of the country, we expected partly cloudy condition and sun period. And now let's have the next 4 days weather forecast.